Coming to you from the Ahafo Ano North Constituency. That constituency is located in the Ahafo Ano North District of the Ashanti region. Now, we're told that farming is the main occupation of the people there. Of course, some are into some other commercial activity. Now, let's talk about the political structure there. Of course, similar in other constituencies. But what happened during the last elections is very key to our conversation this morning, because there was some blouse and skirt voting. And so, whilst the people there wanted a particular president, they decided to also opt for another person, not from the same party, to go to parliament. This is the constituency that we're focusing attention on. And my guest already seated. Unfortunately, we're unable to have the member representing the NPP in the studios. He's involved in an accident around Suhum whilst on his way here. We'll later on try and see if we can reach him by phone. But my guests are seated. The independent candidate in that constituency is asking that, of course, the NPP and the NDC are there, but he says, I am the best person to take this constituency to parliament. I am the best person to articulate your views. I'm the best person to lead you to Accra and to the Parliament House. We'll very soon be talking to him. He is the independent candidate, Mr. Bright Upon. Welcome to Plus 275. And I hope you're doing great.
Yeah.
And how is the constituency receiving you?
Oh, very massive. I've really enjoyed the support and
you're sure of the victory ahead of the polls?
Yeah, I mean, we are used to skirt and blouse. We always want the best, so.
Great. Right, great once again for your time. Now, the incumbent member of parliament, that's a seat that is taken by the NDC, and I'm sure that the NPP is working hard at wresting the seat from the NDC, whilst the independent says, well, that's the constituency that is interested in the best for themselves, so they might vote what we popularly refer to as a skirt and blouse. Now, he is the incumbent, he's representing the NDC, and he's in the person of Kwesi Eduse. Mr. Eduse, grateful for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
And thanks so much for being with us. And how is the constituency doing?
Yeah, very well.
Very well. The acceptance is great.
So wonderful.
And in record, you are going ahead to retain your seat?
Of course, yes, by the grace of God.
Grateful for your time. Now, Suleiman Adamo is the NPP candidate who was on his way to the studios, was involved in an accident, and joins me on the phone now. Mr. Adamo, grateful for your time this morning.
Good morning, my brother.
And how are you doing? Are you very safe where you are?
I am. I'm doing very well. By God's grace, I'm fine.
Okay, right. Thanks so much for speaking to us on phone. And I'm sure the people around you are doing all they can to get you and your people in the car safe to a health center. And you are okay, and we're grateful for your life. Now, welcome, and we'll keep you briefly on the phone for just about 3 minutes, and then we'll let go of you. Thanks so much, Mr. Adamo, for also joining us. Your other contenders, Kwesi Eduse and Bright Upon, the independent candidate, are all in our studios. But a quick picture of what happened on the Suhum Road. These are the pictures shown on your screens there. Suleiman was involved in that accident whilst on his way to our studios just a few hours ago. And you can see the pictures on your screens. And fortunately, he's fine, he's okay. And those with him in the car are also okay. And he's just joined us on the phone lines. We're grateful for his life. And we're also thankful that he has agreed to speak to us on phone. Thanks so much. All right. Okay. So, well, after those pictures there, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll begin the conversation.
Millions of Ghanaians wake up each day to the soul-destroying reality of joblessness.
You bring the right person, you enjoy life for 4 years.
I have come to you more than once, more than twice, more than thrice. You are not my comrades, you are my family.
We need to start afresh where our institutions are responsible and responsive to our citizens.
If they are riding on the message of doing so, then they are riding a wrong horse and going in a wrong direction.
Ghana has set up a new path of progress, path of actualizing our dreams.
The issues that matter to you this election year.
here on your Election Command Center. The Election Command Center. Get ready for the most authoritative, comprehensive, and credible coverage of Election 2016 on TV3, 3FM, Onuya FM, Connect FM, Akuma FM, and online as well as on your mobile. This is your Election Command Center.
Thanks so much for staying there and welcome back to Plus 275. Now, let's start the conversation, but Mr. Opon and then Mr. Dusha are in the studios here. They do us the honor of exchanging greetings. Let's see a handshake because this is a friendly platform. We are just sharing ideas and letting people know that these are the ideas that we have. Suleiman Adamu is on the phone lines. The candidate representing the NPP will join us on phone. So let's start our conversation this morning. Suleiman, let me start with you because you're not here with us. Now, the Ahafo Ano North Constituency, you are representing the NPP, and of course that is said to be, the region is said to be a stronghold of the NPP. Now, the NDC candidate is the incumbent member of parliament. Now, speak to me now. What have you noticed as the key challenge facing that constituency, the reason why you're asking that the people there should give you their mandate for you to come and represent them in parliament here in Accra?
Yeah, good morning to your listeners, and then I also say good morning to my colleague, and thanks so much for the well wishes that you have done. And even though I should have been there with you, but nonetheless, you will take advantage of the medium of phone so that we'll have the conversation. In the first place, Ahafo Ano North is not a stronghold of any political party. Let me put it that way. It is more of a swing. And a lot also depends on the individual candidate that will fill it. And the constituency, at the moment, has some few challenges. And then I think that those challenges have not been addressed by the certain MP. If you look at the constituency, there are issues with education. The standard of education is really down. It's not good. And then you look at the water and sanitation, the number of our people who are not being provided with good potable water. And then in terms of opportunities for human development, I mean, human beings, those who are there, our people, human capital, in terms of development, it's also not good. We don't have a clear policy on how to support people and their ability to develop their professional careers. And then we also look at issues about infrastructure. So as an MP, there are areas that you can actually help. Beyond being an advocate and being a legislator, you need to do a lot of things in order to improve the lives of the people and then the constituency. So in my estimation, we need to really focus on these issues. And these are the core issues. Okay. Looking at education, looking at water and sanitation, looking at infrastructure, and then also looking at human capital development. These are the core. And I think I'm really placed in a good state to provide a kind of leadership that will actually deliver some tangible results in these particular areas.
Mr. Ahmad, I'm grateful for your submission, initial submission there. Let me come to the independent candidate, Mr. Bright Opon. Now, Ademo has mentioned this key challenge. He talks about education, he talks about water and sanitation, he talks about human development. Now, he thinks that these challenges have not been addressed in the constituency, the Ahafo Ano North Constituency. Now, is that what you think are the challenges? And indeed, how bad are these, and how has the incumbent MP failed to address them, if indeed that is the case? Bright, you have 2 minutes to do this.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all the members of Ahafo Ano North and to our general listeners. I must appreciate the massive support that you've shown so far. He's mentioned quite some number of things which I will not go through because they are here already. But I want to add to them that not just that, the district or the constituency seems to be in total disarray. Why do I say that? You have, as a leader, you're supposed to exhibit a supervisory role, which, and the vision itself is a clear mental picture, which is exhibited by a higher being. In my case, I would say God, to people when the need arises. But when you look at the district, there's no clear policy on sanitation, on health in particular. Could you believe that we are still grappling with Broly ulcer? And most of our 4 main rivers, Tano, Abu, and the other rivers are meeting at Esushai are all infested with schisto. I'm a victim of it myself. Most of the people are still grappling with all these health issues. And could you believe that there's no doctor in Tepa Hospital? Now it's a locum doctor now with physician assistant. Sub-7, 94,285 people. That is 20 by way of population and housing census 2010. But I'm sure looking at the annual population growth rate, by now we'll be exceeding over 100,000. Though the president has given us a hospital, but it's not ready yet. But where is the human resource? And these are problems that we've seen and categorized as we moved around. And I can tell you, this is the time, and there's a belief is in Dr. Opon to put things in order, make sure that most of the issues here, and I'm sure we'll have time to go through it as we move on.
Okay. I'm grateful, Dr. Opon, for your initial submission there. Dr. Bright Opon is asking for the mandate of the people of Ahafo Ano North Constituency to represent them in Parliament as an independent candidate. He is not running on the platform, on the ticket of any political party. Now, let me go to the incumbent member of Parliament, Mr. Kwesi Dusay. Now, Mr. Dusay, Honorable Dusay, these are challenges that have been enumerated by your contenders, the NPP candidate, Mr. Amadou, and then Dr. Opon. They're suggesting that, for instance, the constituency is in total disarray. Does that mean that your leadership has failed? Is that how you describe it too? You have 2 minutes. Speak to me on the issues that they raised.
Thank you very much, my brother. And I also want to say a very good morning to our cherished viewers, especially the people of Ahafo Ano North, who gave me the opportunity to serve them from 2012, or call it 7th January 2013 to date. In fact, a number of issues have been raised, and I think governance and leadership is a process. They are not events. When you are given the opportunity to serve people, you begin from somewhere and you head somewhere. These things of water and sanitation and so on and so forth have not been left out there in the Ahafo Ano North as the picture is being painted. A number of them have been addressed. As I sit here as a member of Parliament, not to talk of the lobbying that we succeeded in getting a number of projects to the constituency. As an MP, I'm able to drill train mechanized boreholes to a number of communities, Dahun, Enyinesusu, and Krubua, to mention the names of the towns. And then 27 hand-dug wells at areas that these drilling machines cannot go, to address some of these issues. And then to talk of development of human capital, I think Bright said it right that the hospital has no doctor. So when I became a member of Parliament, I took it upon myself to see to training a native of Ahafo Ano North, who one day, which I know will come to reality in the future when he becomes a doctor, will be from there and will not choose to work in a hospital in the city, but will accept to assist and help and work in the constituency no matter how remote that place is. So we have a student at Opoko High School today as we speak, and one at Tepasinia High School as we speak, and they are offering science, and I know their performance are very good. And the vision is to make sure that they go through the training to become health professionals and to be specific, become doctors who can actually come and stay for good in Ahafo Ano North. So that is the vision. We've started it, and we know that in no time, as they are going to give me the second opportunity by the end of the day, we begin to see the fruits of the good leadership of Akwesi Adusei.
I'm grateful. Akwesi Adusei is representing the NPP, and it's also the incumbent member of parliament for the Ahafo Ano North Constituency. Mr. Amadou, you are still on the phone lines. A quick reaction to what the incumbent member of parliament said. He said the issues that you raised, he is saying that it is a process. Governance, he says, leadership, he says, it's a process. So all the issues that you raised are being addressed. Perhaps that should satisfy you that some answers are being sought for the challenges in Ahafo Ano North.
Yeah, I think he's trying to explain some of the things that he's done. But I got to tell you, the fact is that in terms of leadership, we do not have a clear, comprehensive, pragmatic policy that anybody can put his finger on and say that this is what our MP is doing and this is how he's going to take it out of this quagmire that we find ourselves. Because if you take, for instance, standard of education, which has gone very low, what all that I see is at the end of every academic year when the kids are going to write their exams, the MP will go around, distribute, mathematical set to the students, and that ends it. I think that we should go beyond that. We should go beyond that and prepare the students in a way that they'll be able to sit the exams and then write the exams and pass well. And then we need to make them very competitive so that they can stand up to any competition comes from anywhere, any part of the country. So in my thinking, I think that we need to really develop something that will actually bring the best out of our youth, especially those in school. So if you take, for instance, those who are in school, there are a number of communities without the national grid, and they do not have electricity. I think that we need to provide solar solutions to those communities. We have simple solar lighting systems that we can mount on DHS blocks, and then the students can have the opportunity to do revision in the evening, get some volunteer teachers, give them some stipends, and these volunteer teachers will control the environment of learning for the students in the evening. And once you begin to do that, and then you tie this to some reward package for students who are doing very well and who are excelling. Okay. For instance, if you have a program where you identify the best students within the constituency, 5 or 6 of them, and then you send them somewhere, some part of the country, where they have experience with students of other places, and they go to some big schools to see what is happening there, it's motivation.
All right.
And it's something good that can actually encourage the students to do well. And so on that front, you can address it through that. And then you can also look at...
Okay, wrap up for me. Let me get Dr. Pond to come in. All right. Mr. Amadou is the NPP candidate for the Ahafo Ano North.
The name is Adamu Sani. The name is Suleiman Adamu Sani.
All right. Suleiman Adamu, we are grateful for your time there. And let me go to Dr. Pond here. Now, the incumbent member of parliament raised certain issues about what he's done and why he thinks that the leadership is a process. But let's look at the constituency. If these are the challenges in there, what type of leadership do you think will resolve these challenges? And how can you convince the electorate there that you have that scale, that quality, that expertise to be able to handle the challenges that you have in the constituency?
Right, thank you. our incumbent MP enumerated some things which I will react quickly before I move
Okay,
on.
go ahead.
I mentioned that Tepa Hospital has a doctor, is true. Dr. Pong has sacrificed a whole year and 2 months as I sit here every Thursday, even though as a physician specialist at Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. Reducing you to the district hospital somehow will not be very beneficial to the nation. Because, I mean, how much facilities do you have there? That notwithstanding, I've managed to be in the hospital every Thursday to take care of our constituents. And this is something that I'm giving back to society at no fee, no charge. Okay. And then he mentioned some boreholes that have been drilled at Jahon, Krubua, and I can tell you, as Krubua, as we sit here now, Krubua's water, I have to spend 800 Ghana cedis for a repair of the borehole. And let me tell you, those boreholes he's talking about is an assembly project. Assembly project which is on the way, not just Krubua and Yenesu, but all other places. There are many. And I must tell you, the MP has no hand in them. When you talk about education, as Mr. Adamu mentioned, it's a big problem. I happen to be a village born, and by grace of God, I'm here. From class 1 to 6, from the deep village, because your mother happens to be a teacher from the same place. And then by way of Cocoa Scholarship, now through Opokuwari School, finished to the university under the District Assembly Scholarship Scheme, together with other guys, which we find ourselves here. I'm not surprised. I'm not be surprised if our MP is also a beneficiary of the same thing. And this is a time all of us will have to make sure that those about 16, 18 years ago, the proper arrangements and stimulations which were there for everybody to benefit from, which I'm a beneficiary, we make sure they are reinstituted if we are forgetting. And I must tell you that MPP has had a fair share of parliamentary representation, 3 terms, and NDC after his term, also 3 terms. And still people, no plan, nothing to speak for. And we are promising you that people are really in tune to make sure that nobody this time around hides behind party colors and then glorify mediocrity to our detriment. We are ready to take the mantle, and Dr. Pong is here to make sure education. Look, when I started, not that we have so much money to spend, but you look at the whole district education office with no projector to train our teachers. I had to physically buy, after pulling several agencies for years, I had to intervene with a 5,000 Ghana cedi projector. Had to sponsor the whole of last year, gala marches. I had to sponsor with JC's money and everything. Talking about roofing sheets, the best primary school in Ghana is at Benumsu. And let me tell you, no roofing sheet. We had to physically go there and sort them out. I mean, the problems are many. And his own hometown of Abunsuaso, the school has been built all right. There's light in the town, but no light in the school. I had to physically buy 2 poles, extend electricity. I'm a victim of this studying in the dark. If you can be, I started in the village, and I don't hide it. I always try to stimulate people and serve as inspiration for people to learn from. So, my brother, Dr. Pong hold the embodiment of Ahafo Ano North, making sure that the youth, the elderly know that there's a representation, collective representation. What is so sad is that when there's an issue, we've had it and it's happening. When an MPP candidate is an MP, everybody on the other side, if they know you, you have to go on pension till 4 years. And if NDC, I tell you, even distribution of government solar lamps, as I speak in Tepa Township, was selective. And if the people didn't even put knowledge and wisdom into it, you know that one dryer machine will operate on about 3,000 watts. How then do you put about 2 panels and expect 2 dryers for a hairdresser to operate? People are rushing because they need votes. No, we are not there for votes. We sacrifice, as I speak with you, I've taken 10 months sabbatical leave to make sure that we enlist all the problems we have, categorize them, apply wisdom and knowledge and the little we've learned from the village, and make sure that things move on in the right direction, not partisanship. I'm
grateful. Dr. Bright-Opon is the independent candidate running in that constituency. They have Ahafo Ano North Constituency. The incumbent, Kwesi Eduse, is of the NDC, and Suleiman Adamu Sanid is representing the NPP. NPP there in the constituency. Mr. Kwesi, let me stay with you. He's categorized certain things that you spoke about. He thinks that those things are not in place, and he says the type of leadership he promises to give out to the people of Ahafo Ano North is what they need to see real development. How would you react to these?
Yeah, you know, he initially said he's been serving at a government hospital on Thursdays for free, which is true, and he just started after he went around the constituency campaigning for votes for a number of months. So it was like the government hospital, even though it's not having a doctor. So if that is the case, then let me take advantage of the situation and begin to serve the people. He became a medical doctor about 10 years ago, if my memory serves me right. And the hospital too has been there because it's a remote area. That is why we don't have some. Go to the Kolebus, go to the Confanochis, they run unchecked. So that is why we've taken upon ourselves to go the process, just as I've stated to you, training some people who accept posting to these remote areas. But to mention a number of things that we'll be able to achieve for the constituents. You know, the MPs are giving emergency funds. These are not actually for main developmental agenda, but you carry on minor ones, like I mentioned, boreholes and stuff. I'm putting up 2 ICT centers in remote communities. Abunsu, just as he mentioned, there is one. You go to Sushiaya one is roofed. And I'm also constructing a 200-meter footbridge for a village called, a village at Suponso, where people are not able to cross to school when it rains and the river gets flooded. So that is also going on. That is not the only work of the MP. Because we have the power to call ministers to come and answer questions on some developmental issues that we see in our constituency which are not going on. It means that we are more or less linked with development. And this is what prompted me to write letters for many of our roads in the constituency to be constructed. And thank God we have a president like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama with a special initiative for working on rural or cocoa growing area roads. And we've benefited a number of them. And you know, Susu to Abunsu Asu Road, just as he mentioned, now when he's going there, whether it rains or shines, he can go and come back. From Manfo to Subri, so Infante to Camp 2 to Faboto, so the roads are now being tied under the contractor Kofi Job. Go to Jahon, to Sushaye, to Echankrum, linking to Chabidi to create a ring road over there. That is also going on over there. And as an MP too, I go there regularly to monitor those projects, to make sure quality work is provided to the people. So if someone just come into our Ahafo Ano North and think that for 1 or 2 things, because he wants their votes, he can just come and paint a picture that is not the actual thing, thinking the people will vote for him. I think that is not standing because Suleimana said something right too. He said the people of Ahafo Ano North, there is not a stronghold of anybody. It's a stronghold for a person who is vision-oriented and wants the good for the people over there. That is why I want, coming from where I came from, I live with them, I serve them, and I have served them. So I think they will continue to give me the opportunity to serve them come 7th November, this 2016.
That's the kind of leadership you would provide. I'm grateful. Kwesi Adusai is incumbent member of parliament for the Ahafo Ano North Constituency and also represented the NPP once again in the 2016 general elections. Suleiman Adamu Saned is representing the NPP and he's joining this conversation on phone. And Dr. Brightapon is an independent candidate asking for the mandate of the people of Ahafo Ano North. Dr. Brightapon, a quick reaction to some of the issues that he raised, and then we can move on the conversation.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bright. You see, he doesn't understand the health sector and its issues are privileged things. He doesn't understand. So just pushing a doctor to, it's now by remote area. Dr. Opon finished school in 2007, October. Started working September, started working in October. You go through series of training, housemanship 2 years, move on to become a medical officer, and I quickly did that. I just wrote my primary exam, entered into a specialty program as a physician specialist just 3 years after whilst working, and move on to what? A consultant gastroenterologist, which is still in training, which I had to suspend because we had to intervene. To allow another 4 years of this kind of leadership is something I have to sacrifice for. So I just need my thesis to become a consultant gastroenterologist. So moving Dr. Opon with this all training, which he also training other students in the medical school, is not useful to Ghana. And putting a physician specialist, so I've been going through school. We've not just been sitting at Konfanochi working. We've been going through training, taking sideways MBA courses and all that to improve on ourselves so that we can offer better to the nation. You see, when the cutlass is very blunt, you exert too much effort. That's what is happening to some people. Let me quickly come to what he said.
Right.
About the GET fund and hostels and all that. They are good. Let me tell you, the ICT center he's talking about, he has no idea where the funding is. When he talks about lobbying. But, right, let's shift away from this. You see, let us not reduce the mandate of... Can I finish? Let us not reduce this august institution, the one arm of a whole government, to just developmental projects. Let me tell you, there are issues you need to tackle as a parliamentarian. We can empower assemblymen to dig boreholes, build other things and all that. Who not? Let me tell you, what we want to offer to this nation is, he's worked with the youth a lot. He was a former youth employment leader in the constituency, the defunct youth employment. And let me tell you, he should be able to put the national youth policy into practice to benefit the youth. I have been meeting a series of people. And then believe you me, our problems stems from proper organization, proper detailed plan, not just going about throwing boreholes. And as I tell you, I'm not an MP. But as I went around for 1 year, if I enumerate the number of things I have done for this constituency, not because I have so much money or because I want votes. I keep telling them, I'm not doing these things because of votes. But if you look at places where they've voted massively for you, Amankwankwanta, Abonsuaso, Anwem, his own hometown, I mentioned around his area, at St. Chim, the kind of road. Now, next week, I have to fill that road. He can't even access it to campaign. Looking at Trede, Attack Room, he dug dangerous wells. Didn't even get to the bottom in want of votes. They voted for them massively, and I have gone to correct all that. So when you go back, you see them. I've gone to dig into them, make sure that people have potable water now, though we don't have the strength to put pumps on. And then let me tell you, this assembly projects should not be confused with government projects and all that. All the roads he's talking about, let me tell you, does he know how
a quick wrap up.
Does he know how the cocoa roads came into being? The cocoa roads he's talking about was a promise to the former MPP candidate, Honorable Dia. We can go into the Hansard. The Hansard, he raised it at the floor of Parliament. You see, so we have to give credit where it is due. So you don't go about, and Cocoa Roads funding has, you lobbying what? Before he came into office, that thing was in operation. Just that the government and the CEO of the Cocoa Board has the goodwill to let it out for the plan to be executed at this point in time. So it's not
Dr. Opon, I am grateful for your time. Dr. Opon is running as an independent candidate for that constituency, the Ahafo Ano North Constituency. Let me quickly go onto the phone lines and deal with Suleiman Ademu Sanid. Mr. Suleiman, grateful that you stood there. You're going to wrap up for me on this one. Now, I guess you have heard the conversation, and perhaps the key thing here is that these are challenges that needed to be dealt with. What leadership are you providing to resolve this challenge? And then perhaps speak to your constituents who are listening as to why finally they should give you the chance to come represent them in Parliament here in Accra.
Yeah, I think our MP should be accounting for the common fund that comes to him. His portion, his share of the common fund, that is what he should be accounting for. But he shouldn't be talking about government-initiated projects. When he's talking about lobbying, he should tell us his lobbying, the angle from which he lobbied, and what was the result. Because I think that an MP, though we acknowledge that is an agent for development, the portion that is given to the person must be accounted for. And as we speak now, I don't think he's accounting for that. Because as we speak now, myself as a candidate, I've spent a lot. I've brought in an NGO that actually went around, repaired and made boreholes which were malfunctioning anew. About 16 of them. And as we speak now, plans are ahead for 2 boreholes to be drilled. One in a place called Bredi. Bredi is a town that's located right on a major road, and you see the kind of water they are drinking there, it's unbelievable. So I'm only telling you that we can only make progress when we engage NGOs, when we engage somebody that can actually support us. Because relying on common fund is not enough.
Okay.
What I'm bringing onto the table is very simple. I understand the constituency, I understand the socio-cultural, and then the political dynamics of the place. And I know what it takes to bring development to the area. And I think that we need to engage more people, have a good partnership with our traditional authorities, have a good working relationship with the electorate, and so that whatever agenda that I put forth, they will be able to support me and they will be pushing it forward. And I remember one of my colleagues was mentioning the fact that he's supporting the hospital by way of his services for free. Fine. But the point is that a lasting solution? No.
Okay.
I think it is labor moves where it is best motivated.
Okay.
So if you want somebody to work in the hospital, you don't need to even sponsor the person to any education, through education. All that you need to do is to motivate the person. How do you motivate the person? If the person has just posting to the hospital, you should be able to have a package that will support that person.
Okay.
And I know our former MP at the used to do something of that sort. So all that we need to do is to give a portion of whatever is coming to us by way of common fund and other arrangements so that we'll be able to motivate the nurses, the doctors that are posted to the place.
Oh, okay.
Because Tepa is not a remote place.
All right.
It's not a remote area.
Okay. So,
it's a place that if you put in the right mechanisms and the right motivational team,
okay,
will have people trooping in to support whatever activity that you are doing there.
All right. Suleiman Ademu, wrap up for me with your last words before I come back to the studio.
But now I think that I'm coming into the MP role with a lot of experience in public service. I also have a very good understanding of the constituency. And I always say this, that I am running on the ticket of MPP, but I'm not going to be an MPP MP. As we speak now, my doors are open to everybody. People who come to me are not MPP people.
All right.
Everybody from the constituency comes to me.
Oh, okay. I
my
am
doors are
grateful.
Open. I'll be working for the constituency and not for a particular party.
Okay, I'm grateful. Suleiman Ademu Sanid is the NPP candidate in that constituency. A quick reaction and then we can wrap up our conversation. First, Mr. Adusei, a quick reaction to some of the concerns raised by Dr. Opon and then Suleiman, and then you can wrap up with why you think that the people should just give you the mandate for you to remain there as their MP.
I think my friend needs to get some facts right before he talks. When we talk to the ICT centers I'm talking about, is the MP's emergency fund that I take that I'm using to put them up there. Okay. So if he doesn't know, he shouldn't say and get them wrong. And the food bridge that I'm also talking about is from the MP's common fund. And in addition to these things, the boreholes that he's saying is the district assembly is not a district assembly. I did not mention any district assembly. But in addition to all these things, you know, it takes the MP to also make his input to the district assembly's decisions so that the appropriate development is sent to the right place and to the right people. Okay. So these are things that you also have to do because I'm a member of the district assembly. Right. So if I go around and I find out that these people are in need of water and I come to the assembly and tell them, make sure when you are even allocating communities to go and drill boreholes, make sure ABC are added. It's part of what I'm doing. So okay. If they are yet to come and a number of things they don't maybe in a way know how they are done or we go about them, I think we shouldn't take it that because the assembly is doing A or B, I don't know anything about it. And then to add to this, he said, my colleague mentioned the lobbying. The MP is giving an emergency fund that cannot be used for any major developmental work. So what do you have to do? In the same vein, your people are in dire need of development. What do? You go to the central government, you lobby for them. Okay. And he said Cocoa Rose were there. It was my predecessor who did lobby for A, B, and C. We know when this initiative came into existence. His Excellency John Dramani brought this initiative that every year I'm allocating a particular amount of money in developing Cocoa Rose. What is he talking about?
All right.
So these roads have been there and doing it this year, next year and stuff, and they have never materialized.
Are watching
and they haven't achieved it.
And so just wrap up for me 1 minute why you think they should vote for you before Dr. Pong comes in.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I know the people of Ahafo Ano North, all that you're looking for is to get a good representative, to also get development, and that is what I stand for. And I want to tell them that for the good work that through the Almighty God and the able leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we are bringing to them. Some of them have started, others are yet to come, talking of the Tepatan rules, solar panels for our hairdressers and dressmakers, barbers and stuff, the roads that we started constructing, and all the other projects. We need their mandate again to be able to continue all this good work so that they will see real development.
All right, I'm grateful. Dr. Pong, time now for you to react and then wrap up for me why you should be given the mandate.
Thank you very much. A quick reaction to what Sule Adamu said. You see, as I said, health issues, you shouldn't just say things. As Tepa Hospital says, there's a new hospital which is being built thanks to the current administration. That is the president. I mean, it has nothing to do with the MP. So, but what we need to do, as I started working there, what I'm trying to do is to get them other specialists to come in. Okay, you have Monday, one specialist come, Tuesday, Wednesday, follow to Friday. And then you as an MP together with the assembly, make sure that something is paid a little for their fuel and little compensation. So that you, after the new hospital has been built, you carry that human resource into that main one, so that Tepa becomes a specialist referral center, which is nice. You don't use this mediocre kind of thing and put a doctor there, and when the bigger one starts, it just becomes, it's a bigger building with just one doctor again. Let me say that my MP shouldn't confuse projects with his own aspirations, something that the government is initiated. There's a difference between a program which is being running and at a point when it is implemented. So Cocoa Rose didn't start today, let me tell you.
Okay.
It's the implementation I'm talking about. So he shouldn't react that. And you see, all this boreholes is talking about, if I tell you, people are listening, they will tell you that they are very skillful in saying things which doesn't exist, especially speed drums, which is a national program. And even the contractor is from Ahafo. He was there in the mosque saying that he's using parts of his common fund constructing speed ramps. And when SHEP project, can I land? When SHEP,
quickly,
when self-help electric, when projects are coming to the constituency, this gentleman will run with a pickup behind the contractor and behave as if he's doing something. This was surprising. You go the roads, I'm talking, common funding, we know where it's coming from.
Okay.
Self-help electrification project from Manfu to Subriso, this man was following it, knowing very well that he has nothing to do with it. Transformers to his own hometown. Ask me if his own hometown has lights.
Okay, Dr. Pong, wrap up for me now. Wrap up for me.
I think in final words, I represent the embodiment and the aspirations of Ahafo Ano North. Ahafo Ano North needs somebody who can cut through all spheres of society. With humility, be able to bring all the assembly and everybody together. What worries me is we have a bad history and record. From 1992, my own uncle is part of it, from 96 to 2000, who was the NDC parliamentary candidate and became the MP. Every point in time, there's warfare between the MP and the DCE. This is what is creating confusion. It was replicated in 2004 to 2008, and then our honorable MP has come in to deepen our woes. Ask him if he's in good terms with the current administration.
Okay,
it's like driving a car to Accra where somebody is pushing it towards the
wrap up for me.
So what that I want to say is that we want to make sure that we are resolute, that nobody hides behind party colors this time around. Down there, let's deal with it dispassionately, non-partisan. I hear people talk about, NDC has brought this man in, that is the persecutory delusion our own candidate for the NPP has been propagating throughout. The NDC has brought him, our MP will stand somewhere and say NPP has brought him. They cannot stand the fact that a good person will come in and change policies.
Okay. Dr. Bright Upon is running as an independent candidate in the Ahafo Ano North Constituency. Dr. Upon, we're grateful for your time this morning. For showing up in our studio. Suleiman Adamu Saned is representing the NPP. He joined us on phone because he was unable to make it to our studios, got involved in an accident around Suhum. And Incumbent Kwesi Dusay is representing the NPP, NDC, and still asking that he be retained to sit on that seat. Gentlemen, I'm grateful for your time this morning. Those of you who made it to the studio.
I want to wish our friend a speedy recovery. Thank God.
Sure.
All right.
I mean, if he has any other issue, Dr. Opon is qualified enough to take care of him. He's heading to us.
All right, that's an invitation for him. I'm sure he'll come and see. We're grateful. Another handshake before we go, gentlemen. Yeah. And thank you so much.
But he's also my brother-in-law, so
grateful. Grateful for your time this morning. Wish you all the best. I'm sure we hope to see you before the elections are held. Those of you who watched us, we're grateful for your time. +275 is back again on your screens on Thursday.